Pound for Pound Sports Entertainment. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button right now for your boy. Got my little Tommy hat on. It's trash. I'm headed to work. Anyway, got the fights yesterday. Just want to do a little recap, a little mini recap. I literally woke up when Dubois and Usyk were making their ring walks. So I just had perfect timing. I don't know if it's anybody else that has like a day full of fights that has to take a nap to really enjoy and concentrate and because you already know, like, you watch the fights in the UK, then you gotta try to run out and go get something to eat real quick and then turn around, and you're gonna be up, especially if the fight's on the West Coast like it was last night. That's how I started off right there. I woke up, I took me a nap in anticipation, woke up, Usyk and Dubois were in the ring. I'm like, all right, let's go. Now, I'm already put in my previous video, I put money on Dubois because he's the comeback kid. I thought he was going to right his wrongs. I thought he was going to really capitalize off the, success that he had in the first fight with Usyk. But no. He only threw one good body shot, got Usyk's attention, but Usyk was like, you know what? Let me get you up out of here. Let me go ahead and use these angles, really tire you out, mentally put the stress on you. Dubois did not look... I think he tried the first round to put some pressure on Usyk, but after that first round, you could see him starting to tire a little bit. You could see, and I think Usyk gave up with the third round to Dubois. I think Dubois took the third round, and then after that, it was a wrap. We're gonna drop him in the fifth, and then drop him and get him up out of here. So listen, Usyk is he's a bad boy, yo. Y'all can't mess with Usyk, and that's, what I really want to say. Y'all can't mess with Usyk. Usyk, his resume speaks for itself. What can I say? Two-time undisputed at heavyweight. Technically 3-time because you count the cruiserweight. Beat Tyson Fury twice. Anthony Joshua twice. Dan Dubois twice. Derek Chisora. Come on. What else can you say, bro? What else can you say about Usyk? He makes the adjustments. You try to put pressure on him. He uses his phenomenal boxing skills. He mixes up his punches. He's got power. Come on, man. Don't forget he dropped Tyson Fury in that corner. Tyson Fury was running around in that first fight with Usyk looking like somebody trying to get they close out the cleaners. Pressing that button, them things just swinging around everywhere. It was crazy. But Tyson Fury out here talking about he won a rematch and he's the only man that can beat Usyk. And I'm like, bro, I don't want to hear you say nothing. Because if that's the case, Anthony Joshua should be screaming for a trilogy with Usyk, because both of those fights were close. But he had to find out just like how you had to find out. And honestly, I don't want to see neither one of y'all in a fight with Usyk. It ended up fight with Dan Dubois. Jake Paul got in the ring. They had a little face off or whatever. We know they just, whatever. But let Jake Paul fight Usyk. I don't even care. First of all, let me take that back. Joseph Parker deserves a shot at Usyk. He's been very patient. He has earned his way to a title shot. And then after that, we got, Pacquiao. He deserves a shot. He's been taking people out left and right. So we got two guys in front of an Anthony Joshua or a Tyson Fury for a shot at Usyk. That's number one. Number two, if Usyk want to fight Jake Paul and get the crazy bag that he definitely deserves, let him go do that. And then we'll come back to Joseph Parker. If I'm Joseph Parker, do you take a tune-up? Or do you just wait your turn? It don't matter. Don't forget, Derek Chisora's got the IBF mandatory. You already had your shot at Usyk. We good, bro. Just, wait. Maybe Usyk drops 2 of those belts. Maybe he drops 2 of those belts. I think Michael Hunter and Pulev are supposed to be fighting for I think it's a WBA mandatory or something like that, or WBA regular, whatever they doing. But we got to make that official. I don't know, whatever. But all I'm saying is, Usyk don't have nothing to prove, man. I done proved it. I done cleaned everybody out. Usyk has nothing left to prove in heavyweight boxing, man. He said he wants to keep going. Okay, cool. Guess take him how you come. But the name of the game is stacking your bread. Get your bread, get your money, handle your business. So if you want to do a fight with Jake Paul, go ahead and do that, man. Put it on Netflix, get crazy bag. Obviously, you're the A-side in every aspect. So handle your business, give him a shot, whatever. I don't care. But I would like to see you drop 2 of those belts first. let Joseph Park become champion, and let drop the IBF as well. So you keep the WBC, keep the WBA, and then we'll go from there, man. You know how the game is. You got to give these other guys something to do, something to fight for as well. You can't just hold all the belts. And on top of that, you paying sanctioning fees on that. I know you don't want to keep paying sanctioning fees on that. What am I paying you for? You getting a percentage of everything I'm getting. Like, I've already accomplished, yo. Like, I'm already a Hall of Famer. Like, we've handled our business. We don't need to keep all these belts and be paying a percentage to these sanctioning bodies. So whatever Usyk wants to do, I'm fully with it. But as far as the fight's concerned, I just broke that down. You guys to check that out. Can't nobody mess with Usyk, bro. That was the first fight I watched. After that, then we turned on to the Pacquiao Barrios card on PBC over on the West Coast, MGM Grand, Las Vegas. Phenomenal crowd. I started off watching with the prelims. Gary Russell getting in there, mixing it up, looking phenomenal. I think he dropped his opponent 3 times, stopped him late with a body shot, looked great. Gary Russell has been out the ring for like 3 years with, I think, a shoulder injury, but he looks phenomenal. His counter game was crazy. He was adding some power on his shots, sitting down on his shots. Speed was still there. Maybe he can get another one in, you know, at the end of the year. I'd be cool with that, or maybe not. It is what it is, but he shows that he is, and I think he's at 135. So it shows that he is right back in the game, looking great, man. So, you know, stay in the gym, stay working out, try to get that shoulder back as healthy as possible, man. But the skills is there, man. So salute to the Gary Russells, man. Salute to the Russell family. Phenomenal performance. He looked great. After that, I tuned in to watch. What did I watch? I watched Usyk Cruz take on his opponent. You know, he was supposed to be taking on the guy he fought at 140 last time, and that was a barn burner. But unfortunately, his opponent, I think Robert Garcia, who's his trainer, he pulled him out because he just wasn't looking right. I think he had to take him to the hospital and stuff. So that obviously, see, that's what I'm talking about. People be like, oh, well, 5 pounds doesn't mean anything. Yeah, it does, dude. Weight is everything. Some of these guys are barely making the weight they're making now. So, you know, we had to find a replacement opponent for Usyk Cruz, and fortunately for him, it was somebody on the card that stepped up, took the fight. Same guy that beat Chris Colbert on the Pro Box card, if I'm not mistaken. And he was game, you know, but Usyk Cruz looked great in his fight. He was mixing up a lot of good body shots. He was hitting something. He wasn't just head hunting the whole fight like he usually does. He looked great. I don't know about cutting off the ring, but he looked great. He was stalking his prey. Congratulations, Usyk Cruz, man, handling your business. Next fight up was the rematch. Sebastian fundora, Tszyu. I enjoyed the first fight, even though it was messed up with the elbow, cutting Tszyu. Seemed like Tszyu's career hasn't been the same after that. Everybody didn't even care about that loss, because obviously you were fighting because you had a cut that was, blood was just gushing all over the ring, all over your face, and you could barely see. So salute to Tszyu. Then you come back, you fight Mazuliev over in Orlando, get this brakes beat off of you. But you come back, you take on Joey Spencer, stop him, you right back on track, you get the opportunity, even though they were trying to set up a Tszyu Keith Thurman fight, but you get the opportunity to right your wrongs and fight a Sebastian fundora on a Manny Pacquiao undercard. You take the fight. As far as the fight is concerned, early, Sebastian fundora was working the jab, staying busy, keeping his distance, even though he had like a 9-inch reach advantage. So he was doing exactly what he's supposed to do. When you have an advantage, you take advantage of it. That's just common sense. Tszyu was having a hard time getting around the jab, and then he figured it out that you want to try to throw overhand rights and try to counter Sebastian fundora, hoping that you land something, but also try to work in the mid-range area to try to take away the reach, because obviously I'm going to need some leverage to get the jab off, because I'm the bigger and longer fighter. So if you work it in the mid-range, I got to try to establish some distance. Either I'm going to back up, or I'm just going to have to try to fight you with different shots coming from angles. But that works in your benefit, because obviously it's going to be power on your shots, and it's not going to be that much power on mine. So Tszyu figured that out, and Tszyu was trying to bait Sebastian fundora in when he was on the ropes, because he knew that Sebastian fundora was going to come in. So when you come in, I'm on the ropes. Now I can try to work off of the ropes, get in in the mid-range like I had some success, but I also run the risk of running into some shots, and that's exactly what happened. And then I knew Tszyu was in trouble when Sebastian Fundora caught him with a couple uppercuts. But it was I think what round was that? Round 7, 8 or something like that, where Tszyu was having some good success, but he was getting countered with some shit, and Sebastian Fundora left him on wobbly legs at the end of the round, and it took Tszyu a while to sit down on his stool. And I think the ref came in there and asked him if he wanted to continue. He said, no, I don't want to continue. So, man, listen, Tszyu got heart. Tszyu got heart, but he just ran into a freak of nature when it comes to Sebastian Fundora. That's freaking like 6'7", weighing 154 pounds. How the hell are you alive, sir? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. But, hey, anybody that fights Sebastian Fundora is going to have to deal with this. Have to get a, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to happen. Keith Thurman said he would fight Sebastian Fundora. I don't know if that's going to work out for you, sir. I think one of the only people that could probably beat him would be Jermell Charlo. Or we do a rematch with Erickson Lubin, even though that was a war. But Sebastian Fundora has showed patience. He showed growth. And the more fights that he gets, the more experience he gets as champion, the better he's going to be, the better he's going to be working behind the jab. He just needs to stay more consistent with it and realize when guys are trying to set traps, don't fall into their traps, and he will be okay. But Tszyu, a lot of people, you know, and Mr. Turkey Al-Sheikh allegedly put out a tweet, a disrespectful tweet to Tszyu. You guys could, you know, look for that. I'm not looking for it, but I think Turkey Al-Sheikh is still salty because he tried to make a fight with Tszyu and what's his name? Oh man. Mexican dude. Oh man, come on. Virgil Ortiz. Tszyu and Virgil Ortiz, that was supposed to be on one of their cards. I think it's supposed to be on the Terrence Crawford card in California, and I remember everybody was excited for that fight, and Tszyu's team pulled out of that fight. So obviously Turkey Al-Sheikh is still mad about that. It is what it is, man. Stuff happens, but I think Turkey Al-Sheikh is just tired of guys saying they got a deal, this, that, and the third, taking handshake agreements and stuff like that, and then guys coming back and doing other stuff. It's disrespectful. I totally understand. But to do that when that man just lost and he fought his heart out, it is what it is. That's messed up. But like I said, salute to Tszyu. We got to start picking and choosing a little bit better opponents and stuff, and just build some momentum and get your confidence back, because this is the type of fight that could potentially break a man. You got 2 losses, well, 3 losses, 2 to the same guy. You're falling back at 154-pound division, man. You just can't beat Sebastian Fundora, but that's okay. Also, the Manny Pacquiao Mario Barrios fight. A lot of people said Manny Pacquiao won. I had people hitting me up saying Pacquiao won that fight. People said Mario Barrios won the fight. Some people said Mario Barrios is trash. I think we're doing a disservice to Mario Barrios because he is a good fighter, but I think, like they were saying in the telecast, he was showing Pacquiao too much respect. And at some point in the fight, you have to get over the fact that you're fighting Manny Pacquiao. Like, I think you should have gotten over it when he punched you in your mouth. And be like, oh, shoot, okay, all right, let me get him up out of here or whatever. But the fact that Manny Pacquiao is 46 years old and can hang and go with this young gun is ridiculous. I'm not even going to say what I was about to say, but he shouldn't be able to hang with the young gun. 46 years old and going 12 with him in I had Mario Barrios winning that fight. I think Pacquiao would have won the fight if he would have finished off or got at least 2 of those last 2 rounds. We had a draw, ladies and gentlemen. A draw, and I'm okay with a draw. I think a draw is the best for business for both parties. Mario Barrios keeps the title. We could put Mario Barrios in another big fight with a young gun or whatever like that, or you could possibly do a rematch, or Manny Pacquiao just tries to move on and take on a Floyd Mayweather like they kept asking him. The rumor was Floyd Mayweather was supposed to be in attendance. I didn't see him. I know his son was out at the fight. People interviewed him after. If they were going to do a rematch with Manny Pacquiao, cool, get your money, but it didn't need to be for a title anyway. The name cachet will sell itself. Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, the rematch. Godly, they're in their 40s, bro. Like, it's just so crazy. But Pacquiao, he looked good. You could tell he was slowing down towards the second half of the fight, and I think that's what let Mario Barrios get back in the fight, and the fact that Manny Pacquiao wasn't moving his head away from Mario Barrios' jab. If Mario Barrios wanted to, he really could have jabbed Pacquiao to death in there. But he chose not to. And that's the weird thing about the fight. But it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think about the fights. That's my rundown. I appreciate y'all, man. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. It's your host, F. Merritt, Pound for Pound Sports Entertainment. I'm out.